burner tool. So we're going to measure out from the 30-inch mark back to the 20 to get a 10-inch cut. Y'all, while we're cutting with this thing, we can't be too chatty because we'll lose a finger. So whenever you're cutting with your wood burner, your goal is just to stay between the lines. So no drunk cutting, y'all. Let's see if I can zoom in so you guys can get a good look at that. You do not want to whine and craft when using your wood burner. For sure. So using the wood burner tool just helps reduce some of the fraying. Is it going to stop it completely? No. Will it hurt if you cut yourself? Yes. All that coloring books come in handy. You know, I was never a big coloring book person. You just got your wood burner today. Awesome. Y'all, mine came from Walmart in the same section as the paints and stuff, the craft paints. But I've also ordered one on Amazon before. Which tip do I use? Chisel, I think. Y'all, luckily, once this is done, though, it goes pretty quick after that. All right, how many of y'all make flowers that are watching? Because I've never done the flower with this mesh in it. And I don't know, am I supposed to just double up that ruffle? So do I put a regular ruffle or a regular petal and that petal in one, or can I just use that? I don't know. You have one from Walmart that you never used? So I had one from Amazon that I tried using on regular mesh, and that was the hottest mess that I threw the whole thing away. And then when Mel was coming over one time, Mel said, I need you to buy a wood burner and plexiglass. Not plexiglass, tempered glass. So I threw one away and had to go buy it again. Does it feel paperish? So it feels just like the paper mesh, but it has some type of wax coating over it. So if you're old school and you used some of that paper mesh a long time ago, it feels and looks just like it. You can alternate each row. Is it gonna have enough coverage? Y'all, there's something in here with me. I just heard it. So I didn't know if it would have enough coverage on its own. But it looks like you guys are saying it's good by itself. All right, I don't know how many of these I already cut, but if I'm gonna be able to use some of this, I won't need that whole roll. So let's go ahead and cut some of these. So they used to sell paper mesh a long time ago, and people used to use it to make their sunflowers. And we just told people you can't use it outside. Mary signed up for the shipping course. Awesome. Y'all, this is fun. All right, I feel like I'm missing something here. We'll see how that works. Y'all, do you have to trim off? I feel like you have to trim this off. Is there a bad smell? I don't smell anything. See how it has that extra lip on it? I feel like you have to trim that off. If not, like, what's the point of trying to keep it from fraying? Because it's literally a fray. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's got to go. Which means now I have to do double the cuts. Whose idea was this? Cut down the middle? I did the middle the first time and I didn't like it. Whenever you cut down the middle, you still have extra pieces hanging off the end. I don't know. Wasn't a fan. Could you cut down through here? Maybe. I think it's going to be too tight to do that, though. Y'all, we only have to do 8 like this, so it'll be fun. Y'all, I'm not doing all this work and then having a shitty looking ruffle. So y'all just gonna have to hang out. Okay, the problem is that this is extremely close together and this is wider than that crack. So if I attempt to cut between the green ones, it's going to melt the green one. So I'm just gonna cut off my nibs like I was doing. It'll be fine. What kind of mat? This is a cutting board. You cut the squares in half? That's fun. How many do we have already? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. We need 2 more. Yeah, Tiffany, those little pieces gotta go. All right. This only has 1 tip. All right, last cut. Doesn't smell yet. I still don't smell anything special. All right. What size tip? Whatever size came with it. I don't know. Y'all are asking all these questions about shit I don't know. All right. Y'all, we got to get some zip ties on our board. I might use the black ones again, just because they're easier for y'all to see on camera. Dolores, I already covered that I was not going to cut between the grain. Thank you. Acrylic is plastic and will melt. So you're going to want to use tempered glass. So y'all, we're just going to put these through the back. Y'all, if the head of your zip tie doesn't fit in the hole, you just load it from the front and then through the back. That's all. So y'all, I'm literally gonna put a zip tie in all these, all the way around the board. Maybe. Cindy, if you followed the instruction, you got the discount. If you didn't, you made an extra donation. I'm using the small board. Y'all, and we had less than 30 small boards left in stock whenever I took this one. So if you want a small board, you might want to go shopping. And I have not heard the ETA of when Lori's gonna have our next shipment, so. I closed my zip ties a little to put the mesh through it. Yeah, Sandy, I closed mine too, but I can't. Right now I'm just putting them in, then I'll close them. Thank you though. Listen, I got news for y'all. I would never let any of y'all in my kitchen. Never. You have 2 boards and haven't tried them yet, why not? If you have some poly burlap and you have some zip ties, you got no excuse, friend. This is not a kit. Nope. Why did I leave those 2 holes open at the top? These 2? Because that's where you put your pipe cleaner to hang it off of. All right. So now we've got our zip ties all the way in. Now I'm just gonna lay it down for a second and close my zip ties just a little. So you have to close them until you hear those little clicks. If you don't hear that little click, your zip tie is probably backwards. Why would I not want some of y'all in my kitchen? Because y'all like to take over. Like, I don't need any help. I got this. I feel like you're the same kind of person that would like want to walk in and season your food. And that'll get you cut in the Louisiana kitchen. Like, just hang out, friend. Did Parker reveal a June box yet? Not until the 15th. So it happens the same day every month. You got a glass cutting board with a wood burner from Walmart? Yeah, I just grabbed this one off Amazon. All right, so we went all around the outside. Cindy's been painting gnomes. I spray painted some blanks. Does that count? What's up, Kevin? Yeah, Cindy, so zip ties are just plastic and they will degrade. Especially in the sun, they'll fall apart. All right, we are almost done. After he fills it, will be more to purchase? That depends on how many cancellations we had. Jeanette, if you recently joined the creative coaching group, then it's probably just a welcome letter. All right, y'all, we just have 4 more right here in the center. Can you use your rotary cutter? You can. All right, last one. All right, let's get our red mesh back. All right, y'all, we got to make this a little bit bigger. Now we're just gonna fold it tip to tip. Gonna pull it out just a little bit and just ruffle it up. Y'all, so recently I've been doing all the petals like this. I think this time, let's just put the petals upside down and see what happens. Why not? Someone asked what it looks like the other night. I don't know. So let's just do it and find out. We'll put all of our petals upside down. Who's gonna know but us? Do I have the tree board? I do not. But I think Parker ordered the tree boards. Donna, you do. Yeah, we'll just listen. Worst case scenario, looks like a backwards flower. Donna, it's in the How to Make Wreaths Facebook group. Connie, I think it's going to look the same. Well, it's not going to look exactly the same because it kind of curves down the other way. Did I spray the board? Nope. It's the original gray color. What is the clear cutting? The clear glass cutting board is made from tempered glass. The mesh is 10 inches. The mesh is 10 inches. You don't have to stretch it. You can just look at it, wiggle your nose, and see what happens if you want, friend. Listen, do you. The 10-inch square is still 10 inches. What's up, Tracy? I haven't seen any termites today or yesterday. So maybe the swarm has moved out of here. Now, y'all, the real question is, do we do 2 layers of red, then 1 layer of the crazy mesh? This is where you're supposed to put input at this point. This is poly burlap. Yep. I used black zip ties just so it's easier for y'all to see them on the board. That's it. Only reason. Will I trim the edges? No. Y'all, did I not turn that one upside down? DD, yep, we draw a name every Sunday. Melody, why would you get an email if you tried to order? You just go to DecoExchange.com and place an order. Two layers of red. I think I want to do 2 layers of red. Bonita, if you're watching this on Facebook, you're just on our Facebook page. That's it. Two red. I think 2 red too. That's what I think too, Michelle. I lost my water. It's way over here. I like that people are texting me right now. Like I didn't just tell them I'm going live. I think it's gonna have to be 2 layers of red to get the coverage that we need. I think most of y'all are agreeing that we need 2 red. Hey now. Bonita, I just said you're already on the page, friend. Christina, you will get a shipping notification when it ships. All right, 2 more on this row. Y'all, we didn't cut near enough. Yeah, the new circle sign sold out last night. Before, I really just drank Coke and strawberry limeade. All right, so that's all the way around the outside. Y'all, I only have 1 red petal left. That means we have to cut some more. We're gonna need at least 12 more red ones. So, let's cut some more. So measuring out to the 30. I don't ever do leaves. Just... I can't decide which way I like doing this better. Tracy, thanks for letting me know that. I know. That's why we're using the wood burner. Did I say 30? 30 what? Use a wreath, Damon, or that rack that holds your mesh. What? Sometimes I feel like some of y'all are sipping on some juice when you write your comments, or that I need to sip on some juice to understand them. One or the other. All right. Move this more out of my way. So in my head, I'm just picturing doing 2 rows of red, 1 row of this, and then 1 row of the red in the center, and hope for the best. We'll see what happens. All right, so now we're gonna add our 2nd row of red in here. Hey Karen, we have a 45-minute video in the creative coaching group explaining all the different types of mesh. You can check it out in there if you want. Listen, I don't know if it's gonna be a great plan or not. I never did it. We'll find out together. We'll find out together, y'all. It might be janky as heck. Oh, I might have meant 20 to 30. Yeah, now I'm thinking we should have done red and then the other mesh and then red. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see. Nancy's retiring June 18th. Congrats. Gene, before you say you just realized that, just know that we're flipping ours upside down because the other night someone asked, what would it look like? So normally I would put them the other way. This one is red. Y'all, you really can't mess up one of the flowers, so if you have a board and you have the poly burlap, you should totally try it. All right, this layer, let's work on this one. I don't think it's gonna take us long to figure out if this mesh is gonna cover or not. Looks like it covered. We'll see. Do I have any mustard yellow mess? No, I'm pretty clean with my mustard. Peggy, if you can open up a website, you're savvy enough to do the O-Ship class. Y'all, and we still didn't cut enough red mesh. You like the petals upside down? So far, I don't dislike it. You love how everything comes together? Y'all, you just gotta practice. We were looking at some numbers earlier for a post that I was making, and we've done 18,000 sales on Etsy and over 105,000 sales from our website. You just got to keep going. Not everything is going to work. Not everything is going to be fun. Not everything is going to be perfect. You just got to keep going. How to find the O Ship class. Go to howtoshipareef.com. If you type in howtoshipareef.com, you'll find where to sign up. Yeah, I'm glad we got rid of the nubs. Does this method make it flat enough to go between a door and a screen door? I'm pretty sure all the flowers, except for that magnolia, are flat enough, no matter if you fold them this way or the other way. How many red did I cut? 2 less than I need. Veronica, that's because you do the work, and when something doesn't work, you figure it out. We're super proud of you. What brand wood burner? It says Chandler on it. That's all I got. And you saved over $50 on shipping so far. Awesome. All right, we have one more here. How did I decide to start doing wreaths? I needed a wreath for my own door. Couldn't find one that I liked. Made one and sold it to a neighbor. Harriet said that she checked a price and went from $58 to $20. Her customer couldn't afford the $58. When she told her $20, she made the sale. Harriet, I love hearing stuff like that. Harriet, will you go in the O Ship Facebook group and post that comment? I'll approve it. I think that's going to encourage some other people in there to make sure they show up on Saturday. All right. Now, I think we're going to need probably zip ties in the other 4, not just where we put it. What do y'all think? Carrie, I only do the classes once a year. So we have 2. Anyone else think we're going to need 6? Diane, if you're in the O Ship class, we posted today the times. All right. Judy's price went from $47 to $14.88. I like it. I like that some of y'all have already saved more than the whole class cost, and we haven't even started yet. Getting lots of 6s in the room. This is a wood burner, and when it cuts, it just seals the edges. Oh, let's fill in those 4. So y'all, what we're talking about is in the center, sometimes, depending on the petal that you use, you're gonna have to not just put the pipe cleaners or the zip ties where they go, you're also gonna have to put them in these connecting holes and like bridge the gap so that we can put a flower or a petal in between and not just on the 4 sides. Does it damage the mat? If you use a wood burner on your mat, you will burn it for sure. Juice is good, y'all. The juice is good. Laura, yeah, you can watch the replay. How many rolls of mesh do you need? Well, you need 1 petal for every zip tie. So depending on which board you use will depend on how much mesh you need. All right, so now we've got 8 more little ties in the middle. We're gonna take our mesh and just continue to make our little folds. Y'all, these petals are gonna cover. Let me think about this. Hang on, we're cutting this out. I don't want the petal that big. So let me fold it just a little bit smaller. Am I involved in the 30-day challenge? Being that I have no idea what that is, I'm going to say no. All right, so I'm going to fold it in half one more time. And see if I like this size petal. I like that better for the center. All right, so we're going to take our square. We're going to fold it over. We're going to fold it one more time. All right. Then we are going to just scrunch it up. And then some people cut that tip off. I just fold it down. Ain't nobody got time for trimming that up. All right, and I'm gonna work every other petal first and then come back and put the other one. Do I sell the cutters that I'm using? We do, but I think these are sold out. Teresa's taking a class tomorrow about changes Facebook is making on business accounts. Okay, Teresa, all I'm going to say is that if you take business advice about Facebook from someone besides me, don't ask me questions about what they told you. That's one of my rules. Teresa, you can absolutely take it again. We're teaching a whole new software. Y'all, if you're in the business coaching group, you can take the web class at any time and ask Christine questions every Thursday. Y'all, in my experience, people give their opinions about Facebook instead of actually working one-on-one with Facebook like we do to find out the real truths. And then they tell our students their opinions. And then whenever their Facebook pages tank, they want me to fix it. And I can't. Debbie, yes, you have to have a computer to take the shipping class. I do have to replace the zip tie, but not until I get back there. All right, so now we're gonna fill in those replacement zip ties, which means we gotta put the one that we cut out. Susan, you can totally do it like a poinsettia for Christmas. Watch, let me grab the, I think if you make the Magnolia one, but do it in red, it's going to come out super pretty, like a Christmas flower. If you're searching for O Ship, you're searching for the wrong thing. Search for howtoshipaWreath.com. Y'all, I'm making the wrong petal. Yeah, Debbie, I can't help you with just an iPad. You have to use a computer to use the software that we're going to recommend and to use the training. So y'all, you can't run a business from your iPad. All right, let's keep making our petal. We're gonna take it from here and scrunch it nice and tight. Y'all, it's getting a little tight in the center now. Uh-oh, our one petal's a little derpy. Y'all, we must not have folded it right in the center. Look. He's a little crooked. All right, so let's try to make this one a little bit more centered. Y'all, I think we're just gonna have some derpy petals. All right, last one. Then we have to figure out what we're doing with our center here. Listen, I'm gonna still sell it. You can bling it up. So the whole thing is like more of a rustic Christmas. So I would not add a bling center, but that's just me. What would be really pretty is burlap. But I don't know where I put that burlap rope. So, we may just have to look at it with this and pretend like it's done. Y'all, this is a styrofoam ball, I think. Let's see if we can just cut this in half. The inside was a funky styrofoam. Hold, please. Y'all, so I don't even like this one because it has this glitter on it. But we're gonna let it sit there for tonight because I'm gonna find the burlap rope and maybe we'll make a burlap center tomorrow. If this wouldn't have glitter on it, it would look really good. You guys like it with the glitter? I don't like it. I think it needs to be no glitter. The glitter rope is definitely not the answer for this one. So I have burlap rope and I have styrofoam halves that we'll have to use for it. Where can you purchase the board? DecoExchange.com. Yeah, I think it needs burlap for sure. So we don't have burlap, but I have a piece of burlap ribbon right here. That way you guys can see the color. Look how pretty that would be with just a burlap center. Oh, the little rusted bells. I might have some of those left. I think it needs just a little burlap center. All right, now I can answer your questions about O-Ship. I wasn't answering them the whole night, but I know there were some, so if you still have one, I can try to answer it. Let me unplug this thing before I forget it. And move it to a safe location so we don't die. All right, so the main thing that you guys were messing up on was how to sign up. Just go to howtoshippawreath.com. What else? Yeah, I like the little petals. It looks good. You're gonna want a computer. If you were blocked from comments, you wouldn't be able to leave that comment, friend. Is there a fee for the class? Yes, it's $30. I don't work for free. Build a website. We do it once a year. And we already did it once this year. Does software come with the class? You don't need any software to ship. But there is no, outside of the fee to sign up, there's no cost on top of that to ship. If I sign up for the business class, do I still need to sign up for O-Ship? So if you sign up for the $57 or the $297 business coaching, O-Ship is included. It's the bonus that's happening right now. Is it 2021 O-Ship? Yes. Don't take 2020. We did that last year. I got the whiteboard out, but y'all haven't asked any whiteboard questions, so. Is the last O-Ship staying in the university? Yep, it's a whole different training with a whole different situation. You understood me correctly. If you do not have a computer, do not purchase the O-Ship class. You are going to be highly disappointed. What was the color of the burlap? Red. You paid for the wrong shipping class? There's only one on the website. Is this class different from the O-Ship and the Makers University? Yes. For real, it's free? No, it's not. And we do we have to create a FedEx? Nope. Beth, you've mentioned that a few times, and I mentioned to you that we're down one customer service person, and she will get back to you. I also told you that if you just log in to whatever membership you already have, and you click on the different one, it'll let you sign up right there without talking to anyone. If you can't watch it live, can I watch it later? Yes. Why does Etsy charge so much for shipping? I'll show you. So Etsy, Laura, you would have got 2 emails and a thank you page that told you how to get there. So on Etsy, there's 2 ways to do shipping. Well, 3 ways. I lied. Number 1 is calculated. If you sell anything larger than 1 square foot, right? So if you sell anything larger than, I'm looking for a box, that would be a good example. If you sell anything larger than this, do not use calculated shipping, okay? So anything larger than that, don't do it. Just don't do it. Okay? And here's why. It only calculates priority first class. So if someone wants to buy a wreath, they want to send that big old box, first class, 1 to 2 days. Y'all, that's why Etsy calculates every wreath to be like $60 to ship. Not necessary. Don't do it. Okay? So if your wreaths are on calculated shipping, you need to go change that shit right now. Like, just stop watching, go change it. Because you are not going to make any sales. Number 2. Free shipping guarantee. Right? Over $35. That's what Etsy tells people that it likes, right? So if you do that, you better add the price of your estimated shipping into your wreath. So if you do this, you better know your average shipping price, and you better add that price into every single wreath that you make. So if your wreath is $100 and your average shipping is $35, your list price is $135, right? Y'all, when you call something free shipping and you just add the shipping into the price, I'm pretty sure that's lying to your customer, right? That's like bait and switch. I'm personally not going to do it. The third way is flat rate. Flat rate shipping is what we recommend. Now, whether you do free shipping or flat rate, you still have to know your estimated price. right? So this is the one that I recommend. Gloria, you can absolutely sign up for the new one. So that's the 3 ways that Etsy does shipping. So if you're doing this, go change it. Shipping included, not free shipping. Anna, but that's not what it says. It literally says, spend more than $35, get free shipping. Tiffany, he's just saying that he hates the process. He's good. He's one of our friends. Right? So that's the difference. If you go onto Etsy and Etsy literally tells your customer, hey, spend more than $35 and you're guaranteed free shipping, but you're not doing it free, you're just adding it to the price, that's a lie. Then someone asked, how is this new company going to make money? Okay, so the new company is doing affiliate marketing. So the new company, shipping company, they went and got a contract to UPS, USPS, and FedEx. And they said, hey, USPS and FedEx, for every dollar that our customers spend with you, we want a percentage. Right? So whenever you spend $11 on shipping, they might make 50 cents. I don't know what the agreement is, but they're basically doing affiliate marketing for USPS and FedEx. So you know how people have an affiliate link for DecoExchange and they make money when they tell you to go shop there? It kind of works the same way. Can you get bigger boxes with flat rate shipping though? Tiffany, so don't understand you charging flat rate shipping and the post office charging you flat rate shipping. So flat rate shipping means we are gonna go, Joni, all you have to do is log into the training and follow the steps that are there. That's it. Right? So flat rate shipping just means, let's say we have 5 shipments. This one cost us $10. This one cost us $20. This one cost us $15. This one cost us $25. This one cost us $16. Right? So we're going to add those up. Y'all, it's too late. I'm not doing math in my head. So we're going to get out a calculator. We're going to make sure we're hitting a plus sign in between. Right? So in total, we spent $86. Okay? Then we take the $86 divided by those 5. So $17.20 is our flat rate price. Right? So we would charge all 5 people $17.20, right? So this person is gonna pay an extra $7.20. This person is gonna pay, $3 less than the shipping. This person's gonna pay less than shipping. This person's gonna pay way less. This person's gonna pay more, right? But at the end of the day, it's all going to even out to this value. Can we talk about Etsy's fees for shipping, even if you aren't shipping through them? So, Jordy, let me tell you what happened. So, y'all, Etsy now does a percentage across the board. So if you charge the customer $100 plus $18 in shipping, that's a total of $118. You're gonna pay fees on this whole $118. You know why? It's called fee avoidance. And for a long time, people tried to be real sneaky. So before, you only paid expenses on the 100 and not the shipping price. Well, y'all know what people were doing? People were going on Etsy and charging you $1 for the item and $40 to ship it. Because they were trying to save that 3% instead of charging the right value. So Etsy tried to do a whole lot of stuff to catch those problem children. Guess what? They kept doing it. So we all have to pay for it now. What if you don't have anything yet and don't know those numbers yet? Well, if you take the class, I'm going to give you a worksheet. And that worksheet is going to walk you exactly through how to get your flat rate number. Y'all, and here's the deal. Everyone's flat rate number is going to be different depending on where you live. That's why I can't tell you that 1720 should be your number. Because if you're like my friend Diane Small, who lives in Washington State, all of her shipping is crazy. But what matters in shipping is box size, not weight, box size, and point A to point B. Right? So these are called zones. So the closer your zone is to you, the cheaper it is to ship. The further the zone is, the more expensive it is to ship, right? So if I am just shipping to Texas, it may be $11. But if I'm shipping to New York City, it might be $30. Y'all, it also depends on where point A is, right? So if point A is 40 miles from the large post office, you probably have some extra fees. Why do they ask you what it weighs? So it's called dim weight. If you're in the class, you'll learn all about it. So dim weight, they do the size of the box times a certain value, and that is the weight of the box. So if you're shipping like a 24 by 24 by 8, if your box says 24 by 24 by 8, y'all, that's the inside of the box. Your box is really 25 by 25 by 9, and that can be a big surprise if you don't put that in correctly, because they will send you an invoice, right? So let's say that this is, dim weight is, I don't know, 35 pounds. Are you ever gonna make a wreath that's 35 pounds? No. So the weight of your box, unless that wreath is like 60 pounds and it's more than the dim weight, it doesn't matter. But for most people who are shipping wreaths, it's probably anywhere between 2 pounds and 6 pounds. It's never going to be more than the dim weight. Right? So some people freak out when they get that invoice back from FedEx or USPS, right? So let's say you sent in your box and you said it was 24 by 24 by 8 and it weighed 4 pounds, and then all of a sudden you got an invoice back and that invoice said it was 25 by 25 by 9 and 38 pounds. People immediately start screaming and want to call and say, my wreath could never weigh 38 pounds. It's because you didn't understand what you were doing. That's it. So you have to put in the outside of the box. Trust me, I've seen that rant all over Facebook and all the free groups. If you have free shipping on your items now, what is the best way to change flat rate shipping? Just go into your shipping profile and update it. Teresa, I can't answer that. Vicky, I can't answer that question. You'll have to do the homework and figure it out. Like I said, every single person's rates are going to be different based on where you live. Right now, no one that I've seen do it is seeing cheaper rates through UPS. Stacy, I talked to the company and they are not negotiating Canadian Post right now, but it is on their radar to work into. Y'all, the benefit of the new software is that you are not negotiating based off of how much you ship. You're negotiating off of nothing, right? So the more wreath makers who ship, right? Y'all, this is one of those things that are, as a community, we're going to be stronger, right? So right now, most of you have to go out and someone tell me how many boxes do you ship in a month, right? Because even to start negotiating with FedEx and UPS, it's usually somewhere between 10 and 20 per month. They'll start negotiating with you, right? So this is you on your own. They might start working with you. Like right now, DecoExchange, y'all, we ship up to 10,000 boxes a month, and they're all about the same size box. I'm able to negotiate a better price than this new software. It's just what it is right now, right? But for those of you who only ship 10, 20, 30 a month, you're not gonna have the same power to negotiate as this other company on your behalf. So this other company is taking everyone all your shipments and negotiating, right? So think of it like whenever you join a group medical plan at work. Right? Whenever you join that group plan, there are people that are negotiating for the whole group, right? They're taking all the stuff together and saying, okay, now we do 5,000 that are 22 by 22 by 8, make me a deal. Right? Who do you think is going to get a better rate on shipping? You over here that's trying to ship 5, 10, 20 wreaths. Y'all, some of y'all only ship 1 or 2 in a year. The group's going to get a better rate, for sure. Michelle, that's right. The more wreaths that we all ship together and the more data that they get, the better the prices can get. Amber, if you're shipping, so Amber, if you're still shipping stuff that fits in a USPS box, it's not going to save you any money. It's mainly for bigger boxes, I would say. Right. Group medical, large corporations versus small business. That's exactly how it works. What else, y'all? If nothing else, I am going home and go to bed. Because Shannon, yeah, so if you have better rates, then you can absolutely cancel ShipStation. What I would do is I would log in, compare the rates, and then make that decision. For me, ShipStation still does better. All right, y'all. Have a good night. You can go to howtoshippawreath.com if you want to sign up.